Hey, friends and neighbors of the RPV, Jesse Ibanez.
Jeremy back
With another installment. We're calling this the November RPV only real estate market update. How about that? Super special, diving in on the granulars. We're going to wax poetically a little bit this month because we got to talk about the number one thing right now that you have to make sure that you don't do if you're thinking about maybe buying or selling the next year or so.
And then we're going to talk about numbers. So how to beat these high interest rates. The key is creativity. Cool programs, got some sneak stuff for you.
And 3 numbers that might surprise you, so let's get into this. All right, Jared, so let's play a little word association game, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say a word, you say up or down. Let's have some fun with this, like game show style. So, so November, rates.
Rates. Well, that's an easy one for me because I know they're actually down a little for us, up generally over the economy. But I think it's our little wholesale arena that's being very competitive and seeing rates come down into the mid-7s.
Surprised to hear you say that because I know they were just in 8s like a week or 2 ago. So dynamic thing. Let's do pending homes.
Pending homes, so homes that are listed for sale and they supposedly have a buyer.
And again, this is just in our hood, so we're macroing out to the Alpines because we don't have enough inventory right inside of RPV.
It's hard to ever see signs out there. Up. Is it?
Up, actually 50%.
Dang.
50%
Went
this
from
month.
1 to 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Actually 15 from 10.
Okay.
So I know we're starved, but still that's a big, that's a harbinger because that means people are doing things right now, despite all the crap that's coming in on the feed there. So what about price?
List price, sales price.
Yes.
That's got to be up too, right?
Flat.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually it's interesting. So if you want to get critical, it's down 17.4% if you're going month over month.
Okay.
But for the year, it's flat.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. So it was testing some limits and then came back down to reality a little bit.
So what about its little brother or leading indicator, inventory, up or down?
Inventory has got to be up then.
Inventory is up.
Yeah.
Inventory is up 57.1%. Now, this is the one break in the narrative. I feel like we've been doing this every single month now. Finally, we're starting to see some repleting of these numbers back into the market. Now, I think it's a bit of a confluence. It could mean that more sellers are out there dipping the toe saying, hey, if it's not now, when's it going to be? I think it's probably more, though, the moodiness of the buyer pool about these rates that just aren't acting in that normal deal flow, which might be per typical, and we're seeing it come out with more inventory.
It's a really interesting take. I love thinking about it like that because you can look at the numbers one way. They might tell a different story, but that's a little bit of insight there, I think, from your perspective that could really help someone navigate this time.
Most interesting. You're not going to get this right, so I'm just going to steal it from you.
Damn.
44% of homes did price reductions.
Wow.
Last month.
Fishing.
44% of homes did price. Gang. So inventory up, price reductions up. Interesting there. And then rents, last one, up or down?
I'm going to say it's got to be up.
Yeah, across the county it is, but Alpine, we're actually flat.
Okay.
$3,100 a month. It's been about where it's been. It's spiked up in summer a little bit, but of course that's the motor, that's the engine of commerce that kind of fuels the whole thing, and that's flat, which usually is a harbinger for the market overall being flat along with it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Here's the thing, though, and I think that I've been even guilty of this a little bit. We had such market, undulation, up, down, left, right. It kind of felt like as quick as it came, it was going to subside. Yeah. And it's starting to feel like this might actually be our new normal market. I mean, it could be like this exactly for the next year, maybe even more.
So you and I obviously spend a lot of time talking about this stuff with people who know, economists, title companies, like groups that really dig into this. And what they're saying is maybe we might see this environment for a year, maybe 2 years, depending on how long rates get sticky. And some of the indicators of what we think the Fed are looking for to be able to pull off the accelerator there, they're just not showing up. So it seems like the economy's chugging along. That means rates are probably going to stay where they're at. We might see this for a little bit.
Which is indicative, actually, of the only home we still actually have on the market in the ranch right now. The one over at the end, Corte Dorado Espuela at the end. By the way, beautiful view, killer spot. I think they dropped it $100,000 at some point in time. But I think that's maybe the overarching thing. And I even was guilty of this at the beginning of this whole rate craze. As quick as it came, I kind of had this hope that I thought it was going to subside just as fast. And it doesn't seem like that's the case. As a matter of fact, gang, we might have this exact stalemate of a market for maybe the next year. year, maybe even a little longer?
Yeah, I think a lot of the folks we count on to think about this in the future are saying the same thing. We're thinking maybe a year, maybe a year and a half. And so what are we doing about that? On the money side, which is where a lot of this really comes down to rubber meets the road, we're doing a lot of creative financing, especially in the luxury arena. We're talking about using different programs that mitigate how high that interest rate and that payment are in the beginning. So someone who steps into a $1, $2, $3 million home, a 1/4%, 0.5% is going to matter. So we have some programs with some graduated payments where you kind of ease into the market, and hopefully before you kind of get to the plateau, maybe you get an opportunity to restructure that into better rates.
And I think that's what most people who are getting into homes right now are imagining. This isn't going to be the loan you're going to have indefinitely.
Right.
Hopefully get in while you fit in and then refinance when it comes down a little bit. Gang, appreciate you hanging out.
RPV.
And RPV fam. And if I don't see you live, have a wonderful Thanksgiving with you and yours. We'll catch you back next month. And one more thing. Most folks are feeling like they're broke down on the side of the road on their own struggle bus, frozen with the fear of landing regret and remorse when they're going to go try to sell their home. So gang, we got you back. We actually developed this 6-step process that's going to walk you through from start to finish, backed by the most ridiculous industry leading guarantees, so that when it's your time to actually sell, you can do it with confidence and you know exactly what to do. And most importantly, the 3 things that you got to make sure that you don't do if you want to keep as much of your money as possible. Best part of all, it's just for the neighbors of RPV, and best part of all, it's free.
Yeah.
So go to rpvworkshop.com, get yourself signed up for your next month's seat.